15% of these funds are given by the World Bank, but the rest is purely taxpayers' money. 204 billion rupees for our benefit scheme. We are paying approximately 10 to 12 billion. We are also paying for disabled people, the elderly, and the kidney patients.
I'm very pleased to welcome Mr. Kumar Dunusinghe. He's an attorney at law and he's a member of the Board of Directors of the Welfare Benefits Board to talk to us all about the welfare benefit scheme, the safety net, and into more detail. Welcome, Kumar, to this program, which has been brought to you by Magic Lantern Studios in Rajagiriya.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this interview.
My pleasure, Kumar. You are a member, as I said in the introduction, of the Board of Directors of the Welfare Benefits Board. Explain to us, to our listeners and the viewers, both in Sri Lanka and worldwide, what does the Welfare Benefits Scheme do? How is it constituted?
Yes, it is constituted through by an act, Welfare Benefits Act, Act number 24 of 2002. I'm sorry. Now, this by this act, there is a chairman and 4 members as board of directors. We are being appointed by the Constitutional Council and the Parliament, and this act was brought in, as I said earlier, in 2002, but this came into full implementation in 2022.
Hold on, did you say 2002 and it was implemented in 2022? So a lapse of 20 years?
Yes.
Why is that?
There were various reasons. I would say political reasons as well, social and political both.
Okay.
That is one thing. Now, there were benefit schemes earlier, which, if I go to the history of benefit schemes in Sri Lanka, but mostly they were aligned with politics as well. Firstly, it was 1988 or 89 Janasavya, started by Janasavya program was started by His Excellency Ranasinghe Premadasa, the then president. Thereafter, in 1995, there was this Samurdhi Authority Act brought in, and thereafter everything changed to Samurdhi. The benefit schemes they were called as Samurdhi benefit schemes.
So that was under President Kumar Anatunga.
Yes.
Right.
And also that continued. And in the meantime, in 2013, the Divi Naguma Act came into place. And there again, the recipients were the Samurdhi recipients, and the Samurdhi authority was in force. And there were certain slight changes made in the Divi Naguma Act. But in the meantime, this was brought in by the then Prime Minister, Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe, then in 2002.
I see.
But due to political reasons, because this act is a very strong act, it's a transparent act. This has provisions to file action against not only people who give incorrect information, but also people, the government, the public servants who are not doing their services sincerely.
So basically, if the applicants do not give the right information, false information, and if somebody from the government service like a Grama Niladhari, etc., records the information knowingly it is false, then they are both guilty of a criminal offence, which I think is fairly reasonable if it is knowingly done, because that's sort of borderlining, if not it's fraud.
So they could be, both parties could be prosecuted in the magistrate's court in summary procedure, all the provisions are clearly stated in this act. So because of that, certain public servants also they were reluctant to work on this. But most of all, the administration, the respective administrations of this country didn't want this act to come into full implementation until 2022. Then, of course, now it is in full implementation under the Ministry of Finance, and we started our benefits program. We had to do a lot of research work. Of course, World Bank helped us a lot. They are still guiding us. They are still giving us a lot of directions, guidance. We have discussions quite often with the board. And we started this. We wanted the modern technology also to be included in these benefit schemes. So we started with an app, so that people could register themselves through the app as well as manually. And first we started in 2022. We called for applications. 3.7 million families applied for this.
That's a big number, right?
Big number. Families. It's so out of the 3.7 million, we after collecting the applications, we had to do the enumeration. That is, one of our agents, our representatives, will go to the respective applicant and get detailed information about it. So, so only 3.4 million families were enumerated.
Right.
Now, of course, the reasons why some of the people backed off was that there were certain anti-propaganda made by certain interested groups that this benefit scheme is temporary, or it won't give much benefits as it was given as from Samruddhi. So due to various misinformation, people
backed off. So this is the Aswasuma scheme.
This is Aswasuma. So
right.
This particular beneficial scheme was called Aswasuma, and 3.4 families participated in enumeration, and out of that, and the enumeration also, I must say, it was done on 6 main areas, and on those 6 areas, 22 criteria were discussed, and our representative would go to the applicant's residence on a prior scheduled time, because this time was given through the short message service, SMS. We call in it was given through SMS messaging, and so that the people in the family or entire family could be present when the enumerator comes to their house, and detailed information was collected. So on those 22 criteria about their education, about their health, the housing, their income, about their families, whether they are extended families, because in certain houses there are 2 or 3 families.
Yes.
Living. The parents live separately, the children live separately in the same house.
So, Kumar, in those circumstances, are they separated as families or
Yes.
taken together as one whole family?
No, they are
for
separated as families.
Right. So they'll have 3 separate. If they're eligible, they'll get
Yes.
3 separate payments.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And thereafter, only after the enumeration was done, our selection committees, they have been considered, all the information is being evaluated by the selection committees appointed by our board.
Are they at a regional level or at
Yes,
a central
regional
level?
level.
A regional level.
This is all regional level.
So the enumerator or the person who goes to visit and meet and ask questions,
Yes.
he then takes down all the answers on a electronic, like on a mobile phone app.
Yes. Yes.
Right, and that's then sent to
that is then sent. That they take them to the divisional secretariat.
Right.
And the divisional secretariat is well equipped with our what do you call our mobile app? It is what do you call? It's fully computerized.
Sure.
So then, once the data is updated to the computer, that is being evaluated by the selection committee. Of course, the data is first sent to our board, and thereafter our board is we have a well equipped IT section, and after evaluation that we put up the first list. So
it's like a short list.
Yes, it's shortlisted, and then on divisional secretariat level we distribute to all the divisional secretariats, and it is displayed, and people are asked to go and check whether their names are there.
Right.
At this point, any person who is aggrieved by, and also I must say, they have been categorized on four sections.
Right.
There are now there are 4 categories of benefit schemes here.
Right.
One is utterly poor or extremely poor,
Okay.
who are entitled for 15,000 rupees per month.
Per month. Right.
Then the poor category, who are entitled for 8,500 per month.
I see.
And then the vulnerable group,
Yeah.
they are entitled for 5,000 rupees per month, and the transition group, they are entitled for 2,500 per month.
Right.
So the first list, you find the people who are eligible for benefit schemes and on what categories are they eligible. I forgot to tell you now, at the time of enumeration, once the enumeration is done, the most important thing is this: the respective applicant has to say that I have given all my details about my family truly, and to the best of his or her knowledge. Thereafter, the enumerator also has to make such a similar declaration,
saying that to his best knowledge and belief that the information given by this person is true and accurate.
That's right. And thereafter, a QR code with a number is given to the applicant. That is called HH number. So that is given to the respective applicant. So thereafter, he or she has to communicate through this QR code number. So now, when the first list is displayed, that QR code number is also displayed.
I see.
So thereafter, if one is dissatisfied with the list, say for instance, if one thinks that I have been selected to transition group, but whereas I should have been selected to vulnerable or poor or the poorest, such a person can tender an appeal.
I see.
At the same time, if there is a person who sees this list and who thinks that this particular person who is in the list is not suitable to be a recipient.
So a third party can object to somebody's name being there.
Can file objections.
I
also.
see.
So the appeals and both appeals and objections are entertained.
I see.
After the first list is displayed.
And there's a time limit, like, I don't know,
Yes,
7,
there
14,
is a time
whatever
limit.
it is.
There is a time limit, about 30 days.
I see.
So within that time period, appeals and objections are collected.
So who hears that? Is it the same board
Then we have to appoint appeals board. Appeals boards.
Yeah.
So appeals boards also, divisional secretary is heading it, and thereafter there are certain other public officers who are, including the Grama Niladhari, they are in the appeals board, and they have to look into this appeals. Once the appeals and objections are brought into our board,
the main board
in Colombo, we also have to evaluate, and thereafter we have to again decentralize it to respective divisional secretariats. So last time we had about over 1 million appeals and objections. There were very few objections, but there were a lot of appeals. But of course, the thing is, some people, they were over anxious. I think some of them filed more than one appeal. So there were such problems created. But anyway, now 99% of the appeals and objections are cleared. And thereafter, only the second list was displayed, and thereafter we started paying for little over 1.8 million families in the first round.
Right. So just to get this in the right context, 3.3 million families were the initial applicant number.
3.7 million.
3.7, and then you got 3.3.
4 million enumerated. 3.4 million enumerated.
3.4. So 3.7, 3.4 million enumerated, and how many were
1.8 million
were the beneficiaries eligible.
Yes, in the first round.
So what happened to the others? They were rejected.
Yes. Now that is a very good question, Rohan. Now all the entire 3.7 million applicants.
Yeah.
Now they are registered in our social protection register.
So it's a new phrase, social protection register. It's like a social safety net register.
That's
okay.
Right. Now they are, because all the details, the details, of course, the information given by 3.7 million is included with us, and the detailed information of 3.4 million is also we possess them.
Right.
So the entire 3.7 million, they are in our register. So now we started our second round this year, and we did the application. We tendered. We informed the public that applications we have to available on the website as well as manually, and they have applied this time. Little over 450,000 applications received, and now we are on the verge of starting our enumeration.
So this 450,000 new applications received, it's in addition to the previous applications received. Exactly. So people are joining the system.
Yes. Any person who had applied before cannot apply for the second time.
Right. And would they be simply reconsidered for the extension of the payments?
Now we'll be starting. We have already started enumeration.
Yeah.
From 15th of this month we started till 31st. It's going on. From 31st onwards, we'll be stopping enumeration, and we'll be starting the recertification process of the all applicants.
Yes. Yeah.
So that will take some time because there's a huge amount, 3.7 million.
So, but until such time, if they are rejected or whatever, you will keep paying them their monthly payments, or is it frozen? So, say for example, if my name was in the first list and I was getting 5,000 rupees a month, and now we are talking about the recertification process where my name goes back into the hat again or to the pool. Until you finally determine whether I am eligible to be re-entered, I will get my payments?
Yes, you will be getting.
Right.
You will be getting.
So there is no...
And also there can be additions as well.
Right.
On the recertification where people couldn't give certain information
that can
of
be
change of circumstances. Considering those changes, we can they could be included also.
So you have a very good social welfare net in place in Sri Lanka. That's wonderful to hear actually, Kumar, because in more advanced countries, for example the United Kingdom, we have a similar system. It's less bureaucratic and the process is more digitized and less people handle it. It's done, but there are still human beings involved at the back office somewhere. And the approvals are not done at the very highest level but at a decentralized level, but different systems. So on average, in which category do you think people in the 15,000 rupee category or the 5,000 rupee category, where are the largest disbursements from the state or from the ministry going to?
Largest disbursement is for the poorest category.
That's the 15,000.
Yes, we allocated. We had a plan of providing benefit schemes for 2 million.
Right.
That was our plan, and what we had allocated for the poorest was 800,000, then 400,000 for the poor category, another 400,000 for the vulnerable, and the transition another 400,000. And initially this transition and vulnerable groups are not the poor categories. We cannot consider them as poor categories, but due to COVID situation, pandemic situation, as well as economic recession, there were certain families who were doing well in life, but due to these economic constraints, they had their businesses or whatever their living conditions dilapidated, and because of that, those two categories are categorized as transition and vulnerable.
Right.
And this transition group was originally it was we were planning to give only till the 31st of December last year, and the vulnerable up to March this year. But His Excellency the President decided that in the capacity of the Minister of Finance, decided that still people are not capable enough of standing on their own feet. Because of that, we should extend this period, and it was extended to 31st of December 2024.
Right.
And the 2005 category, the amount is also enhanced to 5,000 rupees. So now they are getting from June. From June, they are getting the arrears from one category is getting arrears from January, whereas the other category is getting from March.
I see.
So they got their arrears as well.
So it's a good system on the whole, but not everyone may be eligible, because it will depend on the merits of each and every case. Okay. Now, that's the recipient end, and you explained very clearly the selection process. That's great. Who is funding this? Is it your money or mine, or are we borrowing money from abroad and giving it to the poor?
This is purely taxpayers' money. Of course, 15% of these funds are given by the World Bank, but the rest is purely taxpayers' money, because this year for 2024, the Treasury has allocated 204 billion rupees for our benefit scheme. And every month we are paying approximately 10 to 12 billion
rupees a month.
Per month. And in addition to those four categories, we are also paying for disabled people, the elderly, and the kidney patients, who are within these four groups.
I see.
So now, for instance, if in the poorest category, the family of which belong to the poorest category, if there is a kidney patient,
he gets a supplementary.
He gets a top up of 7,000 rupees per month, in addition to the 15,000.
Right. It's very clear. So it's not just for the unemployed or the poorest of the poor, but if there are other circumstances that they require money, and within those sets of requirements, then they are entitled to it. Very good. So you mentioned 85% of the funding of this project comes from taxpayers' money, the tax that you and I pay by way of income tax and possibly corporation business taxes for corporates. So the balance 15%, you mentioned it's a World Bank assistance program. So I will just ask for clarity. This has to be when it's World Bank long-term funding with very low interest rates. Am I right?
Very low interest is long-term funding because it's for benefit, for social protection. Because they believe a lot in social protection worldwide, and they have their own programs worldwide. So it's a kind of initiative taken by the World Bank actually. So they have given us very good concessions interest-wise, and it's long-term loans. But the taxpayers' money, of course, we have to earn that money. So that is why now these benefit schemes are not eternal. Unlike this Samurdhi, where people start getting money, it is like a monthly salary. You go to the bank and get the money.
It's not so.
It's not so. For transition and vulnerable, as I said earlier, it's for a very temporary period. And for others also, every year recertification is being done, and some people who are economically well off will go off from our list, our benefit scheme, but they will remain in the social registry.
Correct.
They will remain in the social registry, but they might go off from, because they have achieved their economic standards. And some people, fresh people may get included.
Get into it, and those who have done well and who have left the beneficiary program may even come back if they fall within those criteria, basically. Very good. So, I mean, this is a system, I hope it will work on a open, continual basis, irrespective of who is in power, because that's very important, because I was quite dismayed when you said the Act was passed in 2002 and it took another 20 years for it to be implemented. So we are referring to the Aswasuma program, where the government of Sri Lanka are helping the needy, the poorest of the poor, if I can use an open, loose phrase. Now, as a board member, a member of the board of directors of the Welfare Benefits Board, now I know you are a busy attorney at law in civil practice and so on. How much of your time is devoted for this type of thing? I'm talking not just of you, but overall of the members of the board of directors.
Yeah, of course. Now our board, as I said earlier, the chairman and the 4 directors are there. Chairman is a retired SLA's officer, Mr. Jayanta Vijayratna. Then of course we have another member from as a director who is a retired SLA's officer, who was former GA of Colombo, Mr. Kamal Padmasiri. Then of course then there is another lady, Mrs. Musin, I think, from the Treasury.
I see.
Then myself, and there is another lady who is from the civil society, representing the civil society.
I see. So you mentioned a member from the Treasury,
Yeah.
as well as another member from civil society.
Yeah.
So they are the outside members, etc.
Yes.
Not that they are outside; they are still members of the board of
Yes.
directors,
Yes.
but to give it equal weight. I see. And this comes under the purview of which ministry?
Minister of Finance.
I see.
Minister
So
of
it's
Finance.
direct control and supervision of the Ministry of Finance. So you may be feeling a sense of doing something good for society,
of course.
as on a one-to-one basis.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gain a lot of self-satisfaction in indulging in these activities, because as you say, I'm a lawyer. I earn for myself. So what I thought was to do something to the country as well. And of course this act, this particular the Welfare Benefits Board itself is coming under the Minister of Finance, is doing a human service to the society. And also I must say, we are serving not the people who are only people who are in need, but the considerable percentage of our manpower. So considerable percentage of manpower who were positioned to sustain themselves, to come back to the society again, and to contribute to the development of this country. We are helping them now. And also I find that now certain people in the society say that now why we should not give anything just for nothing, from especially financial cash transfer, just for nothing. But what I say is that they were doing very well some time ago. They were on their own feet, but due to these economic constraints and due to COVID, they were economically down, and now we must help them to, because this country needs rapid development, and for that we need this manpower, very importantly, because now we get the foreign exchange flowing from the people who are
the remittances,
workers. So in order to utilize those dollars in a meaningful manner, in a productive manner, we need the manpower here in this country. So to empower them, empower the needy people here now at the moment is very essential. So in that aspect, I feel very happy, and I have a sense of self-satisfaction.
Excellent.
In doing something for them.
Yeah. Before we conclude, I just wanted to ask another point. You referred to cash transfers.
Yes.
What does that mean? Are you giving money over the counter, or are they bank-to-bank transfers?
No. Now, once the beneficiaries are selected, we ask them to open up bank accounts. If they don't have bank accounts, we ask them to open bank accounts, and they have to go to the divisional secretariat and get the necessary details and open bank accounts, fresh bank accounts, in any commercial bank. In any commercial bank, but at the moment we have asked, or only government banks have come forward for this benefit schemes. The private banks have still not come forward. And once the bank account is opened, from the treasury, when the money is transferred for that particular month, say for this month, if the beneficiary is to be paid 12 billion, that 12 billion is given from the treasury, and we, from our board, we disperse them, we distribute, or we put the direct those funds to their respective bank accounts. So no human being human manipulation is done when this cash transferring is done. No human manipulation whatsoever. Now, I can't select a person and say to the board or to the divisional secretary or whoever, I want this person to be benefited. I cannot do so.
So the room for political interference, favoritism, all of that has been zeroed, if not highly minimized, heavily minimized.
It is zero, I must say, because the Act says there are specific provisions to say that if anybody is found guilty of trying to influence the public officers in this process, can be prosecuted.
I see. So that's it's quite a robust set of rules and regulations, or a statute.
Yes.
Very good. Now, I'm very pleased to have had this discussion with you, so that our viewers are better enlightened than at the start of the program. Thank you very much, Kumar Dunusinghe, attorney at law, for spending this time with us, sharing the information as a resource person. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rohan, for giving this opportunity, because this is the first time I think a program in English was done on behalf of the Welfare Benefits Board, and especially I want all the taxpayers of this country to know that every cent you pay as tax is utilized properly and in a productive manner.
Yeah, because there is this general misunderstanding, perhaps an understanding, that the taxpayers' money is wasted, but here you have pointed out very clearly how the taxpayers' funds are fully utilized to help our own people who are in need. Thank you very much. That was Kumar Dunusinghe, member of the Board of Directors of the Welfare Benefits Board, Aswasuma. Thank you.